There's a quote I read somewhere that people don't buy from brands. They buy from personalities. They buy from people they know. Most of the time, especially with entrepreneurs, we are trying to be more business than we are trying to be human. My name is Barbara Mutuku. I am a creative entrepreneur. I am the CEO of April Entertainment, a film production company. I'm also the host of SEMA podcast and the producer of the same. Our sponsors for today are Millennium Work Depot, located along Karen Langata Road at Millennium Business Park. They do have amazing facilities, by the way. They have boardrooms, private offices, lounge areas. I like the coffee and the free Wi-Fi. We've attached the link to their website there, so go to their website, book a tour, or you can come visit us at the location. Other than that, one of the facilities that Millennium Work Depot offers is podcasting services, which we are doing right now. If you're a bit skeptical about starting your podcast, don't worry, we got you. We do end-to-end consultation where we brainstorm with you on ideas to do with niche topics. We also do production for you, editing, and we also help with marketing. Back to the podcast. Today's topic, we're going to talk about personal branding. Let me give you a bit of background. When I finished art school, after my graduation, I was very hyped about being a film producer and being a film director. Now, the directing bit I had done, the scripting bit I had done in school, but the producing part was a bit hectic. So I reached out to two of my friends. They had worked with people in Showmax. They had worked with people who knew people. So I reached out to them and they were a bit busy, which I understand. But to be honest, iliniuma kidogo. I got into books. I started reading about producing. I started reading about managing money on set. While I'm doing all this, while I'm doing the producer work, I'm also doubling down as the director, as the scriptwriter, as the production supervisor, because it is an independent film. And you all know how independent filmmaking goes. You have to do everything. Nilikatisha production katikati because we ran out of funds and we took a long break. I took a month break to just recover from whatever was going on in my life. So I went back to my cast and I'm like, guys, do you feel like we should go back to set? And remember, these people, they're doing this for free. When I tell you, people had believed in me and invested their time, money, and energy into my project, I don't take it for granted one bit. So I went back to them and, well, there were crickets. My messages were going undelivered, blue ticks, and I understood. I was like, okay, time to start the post-production because there is nothing much you can do. The editor I got at the time, God bless his soul, he saved my entire project. But he came at a cost that I did not have. So mimi ndo hiyo, nimesave mashilingi zangu 10. I gave this editor and he does an amazing job. He creates an amazing film. To be very honest with you, the vision that I had with the footage that we had, if I was the editor of that film, I wouldn't have edited it. Kabil Juma saved my project.
I was sitting with the director discussing on giving you a role.
You're allowed to be happy. And I am happy for you.
What is this?
What's up?
Dog!
James!
Stadium moves. There you go. You disgust me.
I hereby grant James' request to be appointed as Lila's conservator.
I'm talking to you.
Now it's time to premiere the film. I pick a date, I invite my family, I post the flyer on Instagram, on my company page. I still have 200 followers till date, and my personal account has about 1,000 followers. But from that, I think Instagram shows only 1% of your content to your followers, right? So let's say about 100 people see it. I had this entitlement, people I know will come to my premiere. Nilingoja. Anyway, comes the day of the premiere. That was last year now. Last year, November, date 9/11. 13 people show up. I am one of them. My mother and my sister, those are 3 people. There's the cast. About 2 people came from the cast. My sponsors didn't make it because they had a fashion event going on. Who else came? Members of the crew and their friends and 2 of my friends. I knew everybody who was at the premiere and only 3 tickets were sold. And that is barely 0.0001% of what I had invested in the film. So this got me thinking, I need to learn how to do marketing. Along the way, while I was doing production, I acquired skills on how to run a production set. I acquired skills on how to do marketing. Like I've said, I had to go back and learn now, seriously, how to do production. Along the way, I learned how to manage teams, which was very hard. Oh my God, managing human beings, adult human beings, is the hardest because people have feelings and you also have feelings. And you have to, as a leader, you have to find an in-between scale where they have to deliver without feeling like they're taken for granted. You know, that production also forced me to be an extrovert because I realized being an introvert is not going to get me anywhere. Being an introvert as an entrepreneur, it is never going to get me anywhere, especially if I'm starting up. So this brings me to my first point on personal branding. When you're doing personal branding, you need to do a SWOT analysis. For example, for me, I knew my strengths were, I am a good director. I've done it before. I realized that I'm very creative, especially when it comes to problem solving. Let me give you an example. There were times when the cast didn't feel like showing up, or they had other projects that were important and they had to run to those other projects. And in that moment, I had to tweak the script in a way that will align with the number of casts that we have on set. One of my weaknesses was I was poor at people management. I was a bit weak on film production, being a producer on set. I was really bad with camera work because the DOP would come and tell me, how do you see this scene? And in my brain, I'm still working as a producer. I'm still the producer. I'm like, what? So switching in between roles very fast, that was a skill. I think that was the most invaluable skill I had to learn. And I have been using it a lot. One of the challenges that I believe artists have is being shy of speaking about their ideas, being shy about calling themselves entrepreneurs, being shy about promoting their work because they're like, watu wataona nimejipromote sana, sitaki watu wanione hivyo. Which makes me wonder, who are these people you're talking about? Because as far as I'm concerned, people are very absorbed in their own affairs. People are self-absorbed. So promote your work, promote your brand, promote your personal brand. Do what you have to do. The people who will support you are the people that you don't know. Your biggest investors are the people that you don't know. Rezikenaki a concert, people go because they know that person they're talking about. Consider your unique perspective and insights in regards to your industry. Let me first acknowledge that social media is oversaturated, but also there are so many people on social media. What are the chances of among the 200 people when unasema, oh, my videos are only getting 91 views? Those are so many pairs of eyes if you really look at it. So, speaking of content, when you're putting out content for your personal brands, are you really offering solution? Are you providing value? Are you putting content that is relatable to the audience that you're targeting? Let me give you an example. If somebody came to me and started advertising to me Louis Vuittons and this and that and luxury life, it is something, yes, I want. I can look from afar and be like, must be nice. But is it something that I want for myself? The answer is no. Because I still have these goals that I have to achieve by the end of the year that don't involve Louis Vuittons. What are they called? Louis Vuittons? Hey, please, I'm from the village. So you need to identify what value you're offering your target audience. If you're good in marketing, if you're good with SEO, if you're good with web development, what other value can you offer? learn that skill. If you're a filmmaker, if you're an artist, if art is your life, I'm speaking as an artist because art is something I understand and entrepreneurship is something I am learning. Being an artist requires you to run a business, right? If you're an artist, you need to understand the aspects of business that goes into artistry, right? You need to understand the policies, you need to understand storytelling, you need to understand marketing, you need to understand the laws governing the laws of the governing land that you're in. And hizi si vitu zenye mtu atakalisha chini akwambie sasa juu umegraduate as a filmmaker, twende shule ufanye marketing. These are things you acquire along the way. For example, you're done with filmmaking. You're done with filmmaking school. You realize, oh wait, you actually can't get a job as a filmmaker in Kenya. You have to get there, right? So you start learning how to do sound design. You start learning how to do graphic design. You start learning camera work. You start learning editing. You start learning lighting. All these skills build up to a great business mind. I'm just thinking. All these skills build up to someone who provides value. So ukiitwa set and kuna kamera imekataa kufanya kazi, you know how to deal with that. So when you accumulate all the skills that you have, you realize that pole una build your personal brand, but pia una build the skills you have on top of it. Na mimi husema pesa mbaya ni pesa kidogo. So learn as much as you can so that you can provide the highest value that you can provide in the market. Usibaki kwa mchanga. These are some of the things that you need to consider when building your personal brand. And always remember that people buy from people they know. People don't buy from brands. People don't buy from corporations. They buy from personalities. So there's nothing like shyness. There's nothing like I'm doing too much. There's nothing like, no, please do too much. Tell people what you do. Hata sometimes sema chenye unafanya ndio pia sisi tukusupport. In the spirit of dedicating August personal branding, this is what I want us to do. I want us to really think about our uniqueness. I want us to understand what we bring to the table. Literally. Are you good at talking? Please pick a camera, talk. Pick your phone. Jiongeleshe. That's how I started. Kujiongelesha tu. We are not looking for validation anyway. We are learning to build. You need to remember that people also invest in people they know. So if you're looking for money to start your business and you're not out here talking about yourself and what you do, in this digitized world of people having an attention span of a goldfish, you need to be out there being on their faces every day if possible. Tumefika tamati. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and like the episode and share it with someone who you feel like will benefit much from this episode. If there's a topic you'd like us to address, please feel free to comment. This has been Sema Podcast The Blueprint, a space where we talk about entrepreneurship and business leadership. I have been your wonderful host, Barbara Mutuku, a creative entrepreneur. This podcast has been sponsored by Millennium Work Depot, a co-working space located here in Karen.